Konnichiwa, I'm Kawaii Critic, and I'm here to review Gotham Season 3, Episode 20, Pretty Hate Machine. So we begin this episode with the court, and them saying it's judgment time. The master, Bruce's master, that is apparently the leader of the court, which is something we learned recently. And as the court's leader, he has these other guys kill the table court members, as Bruce was the one initially tasked to do so, but he hesitated, which caused the master to take action. So Harvey, Jim, and Alfred charge in a little bit afterwards and see this little massacre that happened. Alfred goes out on his own, and Jim wants to check on Lee because of what has been going on with her. Meanwhile, Barbara chaps up with the Riddler, Tabitha, and Butch. They all want to talk about their target, the Penguin. So Jim arrives at Lee's place, and he sees that she's infected, and she tells him that he wants she wants to be with him in a affectionate way, but in order to do that, he needs to be infected too. Alfred then comes back with this map and discusses where they could possibly be, that being the court with Harvey. And we cut back to Penguin, who's freaking out while Selina and Poison Ivy are staying calm. And the Riddler comes in, and it's an actual ploy on the Penguin's part, locking them in that area or closing them off. So, Tabitha hits it, fleeing Selina, so I don't know. I don't know what her situation's gonna end up being, but I think everything's gonna be fine. Well, maybe. But anyway, Bruce, this possessed Bruce, now feels he's had this failure, and we see the doctor visit them. So the doc shows them the weapon, and Bruce gets the detonator for this bomb. So Jim and Alfred are moving out, and Lee takes Jim at some point, and she attacks him at some point and brings her to the car. I believe I meant Alfred and Harvey and Alfred move out, because then that's what leads Jim to be attacked and brought into the car. Anyways, Alfred and Harvey move in, and Alfred stops them, sees that Bruce is afflicted when they arrive to where their location is, and from there, we see that Bruce is completely under the Master's control. So Harvey has the doc locked up when they capture him, and we see that Lee shows up at the police station. We see that Jim wakes up in this casket, so she had planned this little ploy here, and he's buried somewhere out in this field, and everyone points their guns at Lee, and Lee takes out this radio and gives it to Harvey, and then it's pretty much just this two-way communication between him and Jim. Jim is given the virus in order for him to get this super strength, and for order him to get out, and he's like, no, throughout the rest of the episode, up until a certain point. So Lee is taken into a cell. Selina's also playing both sides of between Penguin and Riddler at the point. So right now, Harvey splits up from Alfred, who is tasked to boil down Bruce in the bomb's new location. So he's holding the doc over the cliff. He does this heavy interrogation, gets the info, and informs both Jim and Harvey of the situation. So Poison Ivy's at her little location with the Penguin, and they're wondering what's taking Selena so long, and then the Penguin figures out that it's a trick. The Riddler comes in with his crew, and then we cut back to Harvey making it to a location to see it was too late. And then Lee makes her escape while Harvey was trying to look for Jim. That's what he was doing. So, interesting twist. Fish Mooney makes her return, and she essentially just grabs Penguin from the Riddler and gets out of that situation with pretty much all the ease in the world. So, the police guys are still looking for Jim, but Jim managed to escape. He took the virus, and then he's running. We can see him running through the town. Alfred makes it in time to try to stop Bruce from hitting the detonator. Then we see that Jim is trying to go after the actual bomb still, which is pretty interesting considering, but is stopped by Lee. But before that, we see a quick shot of Alfred shooting the Master with a gun, so I don't know if he's dead or not. There seems to be a tendency of characters being shot but being alive still, so I don't know. So we see that the virus spreads and that Bruce is told to look for this head thing or something or rather. So the end of this episode is interesting as it kind of reminds me of the video games of like that moment of the entire place of Gotham being diseased with some sort of virus. That seems to be a common thread in some of the video games. So I thought that aspect was a little bit interesting. I'm kind of curious how they're going to cure it, because I'm pretty sure if they're going to get the timeline a little bit closer to how it should be, then I would assume that Jim would find a cure for himself, at least himself or something, and for some of the townspeople as well. So, as well as that, I also assume that something's going to happen to Bruce in order for him to unlock his memories or something. I don't know. But those are my predictions for the next episode or the next season, I guess, since this is almost wrapping up. It seems like the war has been put on hold with Fish Mooney back in the picture, the war between Penguin and the Riddler and their crews. So I don't know what's going to happen between that from this point forward, but we'll see. And with that, I think that pretty much covers this episode. It was pretty interesting. Just a few things that are just left in the air, but we'll have to see what is answered in I believe the next episode is the season finale. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, everyone, bye!